What up, fam? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Listen here. I come back here again with another video as usual. I'm trying to stay consistent with this content creation because I'm almost monetized. You know what I'm saying? So I got to stay on point. I got to stay on top of everything. Anywho, this video that I come here to share with y'all is about Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, who was a former wrestler from WWE, now turned movie star / entrepreneur. The list goes on. Anywho, I wanted to share this particular video because it really inspired me. It gave me some motivation and some confidence. And the way he was talking, I was just like, wow, this is a very wise man. Take a look.
And you know what the biggest thing was? And I want to ask you guys about this, is for the first time, I feel like I did something for me. And it wasn't for this studio and this 4-quadrant, for the world. It's like, well, this was for me.
Right.
Did that ever happen to you guys where you feel like people want you, I need you, for example, your podcast, you're this, you're that, but you realize like, no, I need to do this for me.
Yeah, without a doubt. It come a point in time that I'm a firm believer we're not going to be here forever. God give us time to be able to say, go ahead, I'm gonna come back, but we're gonna talk again. And when time for us to talk, it's gonna be a different place. So I look at it like you gotta really have your effort. You gotta have your fuck it button, and you gotta pull back from everybody else because people will convince you that you're not a good person when they can't take advantage of you a lot of times. And you'll feel it in your chest and you'll start questioning yourself, and you'll find yourself going above and beyond the call of duty to deliver to everybody else that you forget yourself.
That's right.
And then when I start seeing myself, I'm like, and I ain't gonna be here forever. I better enjoy my life and do things that's gonna make me feel good and don't feel bad about it.
That's right.
So sometimes you go through a place where it get painful, but you'll figure it out. You be like, and when you do, your chest open up and you be relieved, like, God, I've been holding back from doing this all this time.
Yes.
So
you did for you.
Now, before I begin my 2 cents on this video, big shout out to $1 Million Worth of Game. That is the name of the podcast. The 2 podcast brothers that was interviewing Dwayne Johnson was Wallo, the bald-headed guy that you see, the first one. The second bald-headed guy that really didn't talk, but you saw like a glimpse of him, that's Gillie. Gillie the Kid is what he calls himself. Anyway, these 2 brothers have a very fantastic podcast. I suggest you guys check it out. But anywho, let me share my 2 cents. So, homie hit the nail on the head. Let me just start off with that. When Dwayne, aka The Rock, said he felt like he did something for himself for once and he didn't feel bad about it, I was just like, you know what? That sounds just like me. There have been plenty of times I've had people who tried to make me feel bad about myself, so because they couldn't take advantage of me. And when I did a double take on my life, I said, wait a minute, life is short. I got to do things for me sometimes to make myself happy. It's called self-care and self-love. Sometimes, I might want to go get a massage. Sometimes I might want to go just have a spa day. Get pampered, get a pedicure, get a manicure. Well, I don't really do manicures, but I do pedicures because they gotta keep the feet intact because the feet be like gators. I ain't gonna lie. But this just proves my point. Sometimes you have to do things for yourself to make yourself feel good. And you can't let others doubt you. And you can't let others, downplay your success or whatever, or your confidence, rather, if you're not feeling successful. Not everyone's successful, depending on what you define success as. But this just told me everything I needed to know. So, like, for example, if I say I'm going to take a trip to, like, Tokyo in, like, 6 months, you think I'm going to tell the whole world that I'm taking a trip to Japan so the whole world can ruin my plans and pray against me and God knows what else and put all types of bad juju on my trip before I even go. No. I pray about it and I move in silence because that's why I am where I am today. Because I don't tell the whole damn world everything I do. Um, I'm just one of those very spiritual believers that believes in if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But I'm not gonna ask permission to do it because I'm a grown ass woman. And I'm not gonna tell you my every move. Just like how I moved and relocated from Texas, my home state, to Virginia. Do you think I told the whole world that I was moving? Hell no. I prayed about it, I moved in silence, and I just did it and said, fuck it, I'm gone. And then eventually, a few months later, when I felt good and comfortable, I let my family in on my secret and said, oh, by the way, I'm a Virginia resident. Were they happy? Not so much, but they got over it. They probably still feeling a little some certain way, a little salty. It don't bother me none. I don't hear from the motherfuckers too often, but to each his own. I don't control people. They all grown. You want to call me? You know my number. You can pick up the phone. But anywho, that's the point. The point is if you want to do something, go after it. Do it. Don't wait on nobody. Just do what I did. Shit. Just like last weekend, y'all saw the videos I dropped. I dropped a jillion videos, literally, on this here YouTube about my concert experience with the Queens tour. It was Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, Stephanie Mills, and Gladys Knight. Amazing, beautiful concert. And then I had some motherfucking haters in my ear, as usual. Some of them were friends. And it was like, why are you going to see them old biddies? Don't nobody want to go there. Ain't nobody but some old grannies and aunties going to be there like the cookout. Da-da-da-da-da. I said, that's fine. And that's why I go by my damn self, because majority of the places I travel solo for a reason. Not everybody has the same taste in music. Not everybody has the same interest, or they just don't want to fuck with me, period. And that's fine too. It don't bother me none. Just know that when you see me on the big screen one day, don't say I didn't tell you so. Because I don't know when it's coming, but one of these days, I pray to God it comes and I end up somewhere on someone's screen. But anywho, that's just a prime example. Like, if you want to do something, do it without hesitation. Don't sit there and dwell on it or wait on somebody that's going to flake out on you anyway. I mean, I even had a homegirl of mine that said not too long ago, she was planning to take a trip to the DR this winter. Her plan failed because one of her in-laws that was supposed to go with her didn't buy their ticket in time. So now she's got to scramble and figure out how to get all her money refunded back because somebody didn't get their ticket. And I'm just like, look, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. You can't depend on niggeros to plan a girl's trip at the last minute. And you had this plan for months, and they knew you had this plan for months, and they still didn't get their ticket in time. And knowing winter is right around the corner, now all of a sudden, when they drop the ball, she comes to me and goes, hey, if you're not busy, this winter, maybe we could do something and go somewhere. Oh, now I'm an option. But my black ass wasn't an option before when you went to Miami and all these other fucking places. But now I'm an option when somebody drops the ball. Oh, now I'm the second choice. You see what I mean? But if that were me and I was very close to someone and I really cared deeply for that person and I really wanted them to tag along with me, I would have at least invited people that I knew were going to be reliable and dependable and have their shit together. Not just, oh, I'm going to get one of my kinfolk and think that they're going to, be ready and have their passports and shit in order, and then they don't even have half the shit in order. It's just a prime example of, not being a second option and, not waiting on people. This is why I don't wait on people. If I want to travel to New York, I will travel to New York by my happy black ass self because I know that I cannot depend on nobody. I can't. The only people I will say who are dependable, who have their shit together, who actually have their own coins and have their own homes, because I know several of them that are homeowners, are probably some of my colleagues that I work with. Other than them, no, I don't know anybody who's dependable. I don't know anybody that, especially on my family side, I can't think of not one person who got their passport. I really can't. The only person I can think of that might have their passport in my family, oh God, not even my parents. I don't think my parents have passports because they don't travel like that. They're up in age anyway. So I don't foresee them traveling out of the country. But my sister, I believe, might have a passport. I don't know. But as many cruises she's been on, the last time I checked, you don't need a passport on a cruise. You just require an ID, any type of government issued ID, such as a driver's license or any type of identification card that comes from your state. It doesn't have to necessarily be a driver's license, or you can use your birth certificate to hop on the boat. That's it. They don't require passports depending on where you're going. I know if you go, let's see, Canada, Mexico, Bahamas, Jamaica, anywhere where the cruise ports are, you're okay with a birth certificate. I know that for a fact. But I've never been on a cruise. But it just goes to show you the research and the knowledge I know, because I've known people who are constant cruisers. They've told me this. But anywho, yeah, I don't know anybody who has their passport. I mean, my brother might have his passport and his wife might have her passport, but they're irrelevant because, like I said, I don't know anybody in my immediate family that would be willing to travel with me. And it's not to throw shade on them. It's just the fact that country bumpkins that don't associate with me don't say nothing to me. Like, what do you expect? Like, no, I'm not about to sit up here and beg a motherfucker I barely speak 2 words to go on a trip with me. For what? You don't call me. You don't say nothing to me. I only hear from you from a holiday. Like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, just to each his own. All I can say is that if you have the confidence and you don't live in fear, because that's the majority of the problem with society, everyone's fear mongering. Get your ass up, get your passport, and travel. Point blank serious. And if you don't like traveling, that's fine. Whatever hobbies you like to do, whether if it's dancing, painting, whatever, do it. You want to run a marathon, you want to run a 5K, you've always wanted to do it, but you've been nervous to do it. Prepare. All you could do is try. You will never know until you try. And this is a prime example of this. But anywho, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I've shared my 2 cents on this. And y'all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? And let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm curious. Feel free. Be honest. All right? I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.